All right. Okay. Back with the DJ Academics Part Two. Him and the on the Fresh and Fit podcast. Um, just basically him like teaching like these scallywags or these so-called internet personalities, women, females who think they know it all about dating and shit. Yeah, it's a continuation of part one. If you haven't watched part one, please do watch it. It's good. All right. Without further ado, man, this is like a slow. This is not like a little. It's just a little intro because this is like a part two of a video which I did before. So it's just a continuation of that. But this one, I think I might make it a bit longer. So yeah, we'll just jump into it. Let's just jump straight into it.
Like it's a very known thing that we're just, no matter what, we will never be equal to men, like biologically, especially. Like we just won't. I'll never be as strong as any of you. I just won't. That's just it. So when it comes to equality and being in the military, okay, maybe that. But when it comes to like being in the military and even the workforce, I just feel like that concept of equality is just like a very complex, I guess, discussion. And I think that when it comes to like the military and women being in the military, that sense of equality is like,
look it up. All of a sudden you're like, come on, man, this shit ain't equal, man. Niggas is oppressing us, this and third. You can't have it both ways.
well, I think, you know what, you definitely are right about that. And where I'm coming in again is that I'm definitely not somebody, and I think most of the girls here as well aren't educated enough when it comes to the military and it comes to.
But it's not even about education.
It definitely is though, because we're obviously not educated enough to have these types of opinions that you.
But it's
strong on.
Let me say this here, right?
Okay.
Let's think about anything. Which, by the way, we live in a capitalist society, right?
Yes.
Let's think about things that are merit based, right?
Okay.
Where, like, even if you look in entertainment, there's definitely multiple facts, especially when it comes to sports. There's different standards.
Yeah.
There's two leagues, not one league. There's two leagues: females, males. If you want to be equal, you should also be saying, "Man, fuck that. I want."
Listen, all right. Before even makes his point, it's the same thing which I said in the last part of the video. I said if you want to be equal, let's throw in like a female and a male, and let's get everything equal and let them box each other. Like let's make everything so equal to the point that even boxing matches will put a male and a female like to box each other. So I think that's what he's gonna like allude to or like talk about. But
want all of us to compete to be in the very best category of who could be professionally making money off whatever the case is. But that's not really what ends up happening. Like people want to be segregated because they're like, we can't compete. So it's like it's like acknowledging saying that, hey, we aren't equal, so we need to be separated. But then when things don't behoove you, right? Vocabulary words, niggas, look it up. All of a sudden you're like, come on, man, this shit ain't equal, man. Niggas is oppressing us, this and third. You can't have it both ways.
Well, I think that we can have it both ways because I think. Listen,
I agree with her.
Listen,
we'll let her get her point, and then you'll go next.
There are
It's fine.
some
Let them
things.
see the argument.
There are some things that we can never be equal on, and then there are other things that we can be. So, like for example, when it comes to anything like being educated in academics, 100% equality, 100%. But anything physical, that's just unrealistic. It's unrealistic to want equality. When anything is physically related, that's just not. It's never going to happen. As much as people try to push it, it won't happen.
All right, and you had something?
To extrapolate from what Akademiks was saying.
Big words.
Yes, big words.
And
to all of these haters saying, I don't know, whatever the fuck they're saying, but equal opportunity acts, we can extrapolate from just gender. We can go to race. We can go to even age between children and adults. Society recognizes differences. What we do need to work on ourselves, what the government needs to work on, is creating an equal playing field across all races, genders, ages, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, but what she's talking about right there is nothing to do with equality. Like she's talking about gender and all that stuff. That's not like it's not nothing to do with equality. I hope she knows that.
Sexualities, all of these things. So yes, I agree with that. In the case of women, physically, we are not going to be equal. And the government, the military needs to work on a way to bridge that gap. Period. That's just called emotional intelligence. That's called
How are you gonna bridge that gap? Like, if you want equality, take everything. Like, be equal on everything. Don't pick and select on the type of equality you need. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I feel like this is what all the men are saying, but what do I know?
I think that's
education.
disingenuous to compare race and gender.
It is not disingenuous.
Super-
I
Intersectionality,
just
we
said
are
that.
all different. We all come from different backgrounds. We all have men and women, black, white, Asian,
What do you want?
old,
I mean, the point
poor, socioeconomic. Intersectionality. Every part of your life affects you differently and compounds.
I make a
external.
point for you. So equal opportunity when it comes to like races is basically acknowledging that there's particular races and particular people that just didn't have those historic advantages, and actually they were disadvantaged. That's why you need to give them a fairer look. Here's the thing. That's hopefully that in the future that future generations could all be on a level playing field. So it's trying to take what slavery did to the black community and other communities, you know what I mean, especially some place that indentured workers, and trying to level it out, hoping that for in the future that everybody's playing on a fair playing field. Nobody, like, I don't even think anyone who's African American wants to be like, oh no, I want an advantage over somebody who's white. You just know that, like, first of all, a lot of this stuff with whether it be standardized tests, whether it be employment, it's based on a lot of, like, you know, systemic, like, racism. So
Yeah.
that's why you have these, you know,
Facts.
equal opportunity things. We hope
Facts.
to get to the point that that's not needed. I don't want no.
Facts. I don't know why this girl is bringing up the whole sexism thing, because I think what they are talking about there is equality. But yeah, when it comes to like the whole sexism race thing, like it's like this. Put it this way. What that is like, let's say a black guy with dreads goes in to apply for a job, like a let's say a well-paying job, like in the city and or whatever, and he's got dreads, he's like a black guy, and then at the same he's got all the qualifications or everything he needs, like he's got everything sorted, and then a white guy, like just a normal white guy, applies for the same role, and then they both go in for like an interview. The thing what happens is like who do you think that the company is gonna pick? And this happens a lot in so many jobs in different aspects. It just happens in so many jobs. Like the white person will have the upper hand. I'm not saying, like, I'm just saying this is what happens. Like I don't know, like it's just systematic. You know what I mean? It's just what happens. So I think that's what she's trying to bring up. But I don't think the equality she's trying to put in there is not the one they're talking about. Because the equality they're talking about is like about the sex, like the like females and males. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
No motherfucking advantage over a dude that's white. I want to go out and hustle, and I want to go get it. I want to beat that guy at his own game. The thing is, when you compare it to gender, though, there will never be a point where women, without being propped up, is competing at the same level as men.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
On some stuff, not all stuff. But again, those things are worth noting, because if you don't note those things, like, are we really having a real conversation about equality, or are we just like glossing over it?
This is the reality. Just from listening to you guys, I mean, you guys literally displayed in your past answer from the video where the guy said, hey, I'm going to put the bill here. You guys all basically said yourselves, I'm not paying the bill. You guys actually like I'm not paying a fucking bill for a guy, which is fine. So
of course, women always. Oh yeah, I'm not paying. I'm not getting the bill. Like, I mean, yeah, like I said, I was saying about this like in the previous video. Like of course, as a man, I should pay for the bill. I will pay for the bill. But usually, women expect you to pay it. Like expect you to do this shit. But yet they wanna like preach equality. How can you try and preach equality, but then you're expecting a nigga to do some shit? You know what I mean? I don't understand that. Like, this bitch is like some. No, these B words sometimes, yeah, they don't know.
Clearly, men and women aren't the same. Men are obligated from a social standpoint to pay for women, which is fine. But what I'm saying is that you can't have equality while simultaneously being treated like a lady. So in other words, if I treat you like a lady, we're not equal anymore. Does that make sense? If I'm going to pay for your dinner, you're no longer going to talk to me like I'm you're equal. I am now the man in the relationship. And what I'm trying to say is that we live.
There you go. And I know it sounds a bit harsh, like the way he's saying it, like it sounds a bit harsh. But I mean, look at it. I feel like ladies should look at it simple. Like what he just said there is, you can't expect equality if you want a man to pay for your shit, and then you expect to be equal on certain other types. Bring your own shit, or try and pretend to like I always say, like try and pretend fidget like you're trying to get the bill or some shit. And I know we're just talking about like this dinner shit, but like that's the best analogy to use. You know what I mean?
In a crazy clown world, right, where we have women like you guys, no offense, educated ladies that want to pick and choose when they want to be a lady. And they want to pick and choose when I'm an educated, strong woman. And I'm here to tell y'all that's fucking bullshit. If I'm a guy and I'm expected to be traditional man all the time, pay for the bills, be masculine, be dominant, I expect you to be a traditional lady at all times too. Because it's bullshit that I have to go and pick and choose. I have a woman that can pick and choose when she wants to be a lady. Let me pick and choose when I want to be a guy. I'm going to pick and choose and wear a dress today. I'm going to pick and choose and do my nails today. I'm going to pick and choose and not protect you from this danger today. See how crazy that sounds?
No, you're right.
But that is the same logic that women use all the time and say, I want to pick and choose when I want to be a lady. Today it's, nigga, I'm not making you a sandwich. Tomorrow it's pay for the dinner tab. The next day it's like, oh, babe, I may do laundry for you if you maybe take out the trash. See the difference? See how ridiculous this is, where I have to be a man at all times, but you can absolve yourself of your feminine responsibility.
Yeah, certain scallywags should be listening to this. Certain bitches, I know certain bitches who need to be listening to this. I know some bitches who are they're out of their prime, like, cause like yeah, no offense, they're out of their 20s, they're out of their prime, but yeah, they're still trying to act like they're the shit. Like so certain bitches like they I hate saying certain B's need to listen to this. Pay attention.
That's what I'm trying to say. So you can't have equality and be treated like a lady at the same time. And I get what you're trying to say, like, oh, well, we can't have it. No, it doesn't work that way. That's stupid. If you want the power of being able to join the military and being treated like an equal, guess what comes with that? Responsibility, which means you are now in the selective service. You can now be drafted. You can now go to war, and you might have to leave your kid and not give him titty milk. And it's got to be the dad that stays.
And to even further your point, which Simple. I agree with, and I think you guys have said this definitely on one of your previous shows, but it's like, you know, a lot of women get with men and then they'll complain and they'll cite chivalry or how, you know, courtship used to be. They'd be like, hey, well, you know, you're supposed to do these things, but the women nowadays ain't acting how when chivalry was an actual thing. Like you used to take a woman from her father's home.
Yeah. Yep.
So you had to really wine and dine her and show her that you were financially, mentally, physically.
Yeah. Well, so no, without getting too much into this, but this still happens in Africa. So in Africa, you have to go like through the ringers if you want a lady. Like if you've found your lady, you have to go and pay visits like to the fathers or to the to the family first, and then you have to pay something called dowry. Like you have to pay all this stuff. It still happens in Africa. This shit happens. Like you might have to throw in some goats in there. You have to throw in some cows in there. Like, you know, this shit still happens. But that means you're taking that young queen from the family, and then you're welcoming to your part of the family and saying, all right, I'm gonna take care of you. I've paid all this, like I've paid all these goals, I've paid all these whatever the money, like the dowry and all that stuff. And this shit still happens in Africa, you know what I mean? But then, like I'm saying, if you as a guy have done that, and then you get this chick and she's like super lazy and like super argumentative and like, you know, so it does it you I'm saying this to say, if you pay all this shit, you're expecting a bitch to be acting a certain way. And no offense, I don't mean to say bitch, but I'm expecting you to act a certain way if I pay this shit like for you. You know what I mean? Don't throw this equality shit. Once I've paid goats, once I've paid cows and shit like to your family and shit. Bitch, be in line. You know what I mean? And I know that sounds so bad for me to say, but in reality, that's what is supposed to be happening.
Physically capable dude of holding it down. Man, these bitches on OnlyFans right now popping pussy, man, calling himself a boss, talking about like they don't give a fuck about no nigga, and expecting for you to open doors and do all the chivalrous things.
Yep.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Like, yo, listen, men, I'm gonna take this. The only thing about men are not perfect. I'm not gonna be here and be like, this is not no men versus women thing.
Nope.
First of all,
yeah.
But men are the best, I think, at whatever y'all rules are. We'll adjust and we won't complain.
Bam.
There you go.
Females, They'll make the rules. They see how people are adjusting. They don't like it. They switch the rules like third quarter. They're still losing in the fourth.
Yeah.
They add 20 points to their score. It's like you ever play one of those people like when you're playing like PS4 or something like that,
Yeah.
and then they just plug out the game. Fuck you.
That's so true, bro. That's so
Just
true.
give us what you want. Like, listen, y'all said y'all didn't want to just sit back and just wait for us and just be taking care of the home. Y'all want it to be boss ass bitches. You feel me? Like, you know how many girls will be telling me like, yo, I'm making a bag off OnlyFans.
There you go. Oh, I'm making a bag off OnlyFans. Oh, I'm working so hard. I'm a boss ass bitch. All right. If you're a boss ass bitch, all right, then show and prove.
Oh shit. All right, perfect. So now when I'm dealing with you, I can't deal with you like a girl who ain't in that lifestyle because the way you gonna approach me, the way
It's different.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't even mention names. I don't get personals. But I've had a couple girls, like 2, 3 exes. They come to my crib, bet. You know the first thing they tell me, they start making a little money? Yo, listen, I'm not cleaning no more.
Yep.
You told me that shit.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, you don't got these bitches clean. I'm like, nigga, I told them to clean. They say they're not cleaning.
Yeah.
They don't pay rent. They don't pay light bill, gas bill. They don't pay. I'm paying 35 bills. But you know what? Society now has empowered them to say, why the fuck am I going to sit back and be doing these other menial? Because in reality, this is what kind of feminism has done. It's turned what are really important attributes, child rearing, taking care of a household, keeping things organized, clean. They've turned it into like, if somebody says you're doing that, like I remember one of my exes, she said another.
So just still jumping on the point which I made about like pay like the African way, like in like paying dowry and stuff like that. So this is what I mean. Like if you pay dowry for a female or whatever, you pay goats and all these cows. You are expecting her to be a lady and hold down a household. You're expecting that chick to be cleaning, cooking, doing all the like you said, like minimal things, like what you expect like females to be doing, like or what's been known for female to be doing, like you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Yeah. But these scallywags these days, bro, they are just something else.
Other girl referred to her as a maid. And the moment she heard that, she said, fuck that. I'm not cleaning the motherfucking thing.
Yeah.
Because that's seen as negative.
Yeah.
Word.
It's seen as, but why is it seen as negative? Everybody got a role. If I'm making the bread, if somebody call me like, yo, you the slave, you just go get in the bread. Nigga, that's my job. I'm gotta get the bread. That's the point. But women, it's like they want it all. It's like, I want to be seen as the boss. I want to be seen as like everything else.
A wife?
Did she get mad because another woman referred to her as a maid, or she got mad because that was just?
Well, another woman who seen that she was handling her responsibilities was like, yo, you not doing nothing with your life. You doing some shit that a maid could do. I'm a boss. Another woman shamed her.
Yep, of course.
As usual.
And then as usual, the other female will believe it. Oh, now she's throwing a temper tantrum, and she's like, oh no, why am I the one who has to do all this like, you know what I mean, like, and just another female just ruined another female's relationship for no reason, and these bitches out here think, anyway, let me not get into that.
Another woman shamed it, wasn't me.
I was gonna say.
So
yeah.
I remember 2 weeks went by, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, why does shit sit on the table? I'm like, yo, it's a big house. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what she said? Bitches call me a maid. I ain't doing this shit no more. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is ridiculous.
That's an insecurity thing, though. Like me, if my man was paying all the bills, I'm happy to be a little trophy wife. Like I'm more than happy.
The trophy wife is accept the responsibilities, because trophy wife only means you look good.
That woman.
Are you gonna hold it down? You gonna be washing that nigga drawers? You gonna be cleaning the spot? Making a sandwich?
I mean, more than younger, so but yes.
But
how old are you, man?
I'm 30. I'll be 31, so I was a wife, so yes.
By the way, which I don't want to stray off conversation. My new study is actually looking at how women change their point of view from about 20 to 21 to 32. I see so many women like, yo, when they're 22, and this is why, like, this is why our show is really important, because a lot of y'all when y'all 22.
This is a great point which is gonna come up right here, because I feel like what he's gonna say is like, one, if you're a young female, like it's all good and dandy, like you're still getting options, like usually young females, like they get attention. You're good looking, man them will, like, or men will give you attention, and men will say anything to these women, like to get some pum pum. But some women get so gassed up by the attention they get, like not understanding that men will say anything to get some pum pum. And then once you are out of that 20s phase or whatever, and you haven't grasp anything, or find like the right man in that time where you are at your peak or whatever, and then now you are in your 30s, you're still trying to act like you're still like in your 20s and shit, like of course you can still get fucked by a dude, like dudes will fuck you, but they won't wife you. You'll get fucked. That's it. And this is what happens to these females, like in their 30s, simply getting fucked and not getting claimed and not getting the like, or besides that, either they'll settle for a dude who's just like just like that dude, like who she's maybe even taking care of, So ladies in your 20s, please be wise and get you like a real man who loves you for your body at that time, but then just try and get like a real man, because in your 30s you're getting fucked, but you're not getting the top tier man, because top tier men won't look at you the way you think they should look at you.
Y'all really think y'all look the best in the world? Y'all think you're the hottest bitch?
Can't tell me nothing.
Y'all better
Kanye West.
Let me tell you this. Y'all better check out the game now, because once you hit 28, 29, your mindset's gonna start to change. You're gonna realize you ain't the hottest chick on the block no more.
That.
And then you're gonna start to realize some of these things that people used to say maybe wasn't that absurd. I understand you understand it, but like these days you run into a girl who's like fucking 20 to 25. Man, these chicks, they getting DM'd by Future. Drake try to fucking come on their
NFL
face.
players.
NFL players try to fly them out to a city to fuck them. Like, I'm telling you, like
Giants.
you can't control these chicks. I'm telling you.
Listen, man.
Any of the ladies have a rebuttal? I want to make sure the ladies get a chance. The
Yes.
issue, point of contention with that. Go ahead, sure.
Take a sip.
Here we go.
Of course.
Gonna extrapolate from what Akademiks said there. And
I knew you were gonna say something
Akademiks.
stupid. Anyways.
Don't get too fucked up, ladies. We don't want this to be a slaughter.
Okay, Mr. Academic.
She's drinking juice, though.
What would you say are the defining characteristics of what a successful man wants? A successful man, what does he want? What does he look for in a partner?
It definitely depends on what point of his life he's at. Again, and I've watched
generally speaking.
A
man looks at himself in the mirror and he's like, I am a successful man.
Okay, I'm gonna fully explain. So, and by the way, I watch these dudes like so much, and they're pretty much right. A lot of stuff they say is like, Myron is probably the king of just not making it palatable. That's the only thing I could ever give him advice on, because he just says it and it hits so hard. It's like tasting.
I'll be triggering the girls.
It's like medicine. You taste it, it just doesn't taste right. I've always learned, and salute to one of my mentors, Charlamagne the God. He told me, listen, you got to put the medicine in the candy. That's the only way. If you just give them the medicine, it don't taste good. You throw a little candy in that bitch, they like it. Okay. Right. So it's about how you deliver it. So I'll say for dudes, for example, me, right? And I don't want to make this a diatribe or nothing like that, but
it's a multi-millionaire talking, by the way. So listen up, ladies.
Recently, I don't know why I'm on Facebook, but I just went on Facebook. Go back to my college days. College days, I'm working like 2-3 jobs. I'm DJing. I am hustling out the ass. What you see here now, you might think is a finished product or whatever, made million or whatever, cool. But the person who was making it here 10 years ago was somebody who was scrappy, somebody who was making sacrifices, somebody who was literally recording YouTube videos in the back of his car. It wasn't the ideal situation. I'm still on your point. So I would probably say about 5 or 6 years ago, I got in a position where I'm like, it's worked. Finally made it. I'm gonna be honest with you. After, and this is what I was saying about the Facebook messages. I went back to my Facebook messages. Man, I'm scrolling down. It's 10 years ago. 10, 11. Man, these bitches curve me left and right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Bitches will curve like a nigga, like if they feel like they're more above a nigga. Like they'll curve a nigga, or if they feel like, oh, this nigga ain't got shit, like he ain't got nothing like going on for him, they'll curve a nigga like it's nothing, like it's nothing, like it's nothing. But let that nigga make something of himself, the whole story changes. Scallywag.
Shit. Curving me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Curving me. Like, you know what I mean? And by the way, another thing, because I heard y'all mention before, nigga, should I gain a little weight? Nigga, I was in prime physical condition back then, whatever. Bitch didn't care about that, man. It was like, you a bum ass. Like, there wasn't, right. Anyway.
Very true.
When I first got on, because, you know, you, like, how old are you, by the way?
23.
You're 23.
Yes.
You go out on South Beach, you go in one of these clubs, and niggas is gonna see you whether you're in somebody's section. Look at her face. She knows it. She knows the fact.
Lives life on easy mode.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, yo, I need her in my section.
Definitely her life is on easy mode. She's a pretty female. She's 23. Once you walk in somewhere, you know, or even if you walk outside, you with a pretty privilege, niggas is gonna come for you. They'll tell you you're pretty. They'll tell you anything, and like so, in her reality, everything's all peachy because she's a beautiful lady, and this is why beautiful people get like things easy, and they don't understand like there are people who are out there struggling. You know what I mean? Like as in like struggling, like really like struggling.
Section.
Yeah.
Yo, and you know what you're gonna say? Yo, I got 5 of my bitches with me. You know what I mean? Even the fat one that nobody wants, but they'll take her for you. They'll bring you and all your friends on a boat. Y'all want to go to Tulum?
You got to.
You're in Tulum.
There you go.
First time I went to Mexico was like last year. So how you expect a nigga like me to act when it took me goddamn, you know what I mean, 30 now. But shit, took me past 25 to be like, yo, I could do some shit. So of course, when I first get on, and when you talk about what does a guy like me want, it depends on where I'm at. So for the first 5 years, I'm like, yo, I'm all these beautiful women who I never really had access or the opportunity, or who didn't just look at me as a viable candidate based on whatever they might think. I'm indulging it.
There you go.
Now, granted, where I'm at now, I'm also looking at, okay, that's time wasting. I don't want to keep dealing with, you know, I'm not fresh deals with another chick every night.
Nigga,
No, when he's not celibate. When he's
I'm celibate, man.
Okay, when he's
Yeah,
not celibate,
here, bro.
That's the trade, brother. Hold on, but that's what I'm trying to say is like, so now I'm at the point where I'm like, yo, I'm looking for something a little bit more serious, but the answer to your question isn't just black and white, because for dudes, and Martin, I've heard you say this a lot of times. At first, I had to really, nigga, I ain't gonna lie to you, my DMs was, yo, they call me TSA for a reason.
Popping.
When I finally got on, I had to fly everybody out. I had the money.
So this is what happens, and this is what girls need to realize. So the guys you'll be Kevin, let's say like someone like Akademiks, I'll use him as an example. He works so hard because, like, you know, at the end of the day, us guys, like most of the stuff we do, like is for pussy. I don't know about any other, but like most of the shit we do is for pussy, right? So for a guy like him, who knows, like these girls been curving him left and right. He works so hard, he gets to a certain point, and then once he gets the options, do you think he's gonna find like, oh, the first thing he'll do is like go for the girl he never used to get? Fuck that bitch and get it over with. You know, he's not gonna wife her or nothing. He's just gonna get that shit out of his system, and then he's gonna start to fuck every other bitch. Like, and he will go for those bitches who never would have ever looked at him if he wasn't who he was. And this is what happens with so many like guys who are like it might be basketball, whoever the 1%, like all the other guys, the ones you think, oh, yeah, these are the guys we want to go for. All they want to do is like get out of these, like fuck these other bitches just because they couldn't get them at that time. And this is what happens in life. And then women are so surprised when guys just fuck them and be fucking the next chick, because at that point a guy has hit a certain mark, like in his career. He doesn't, like, he needs chicks, but he'll just fuck these bitches just for the sake of fucking. And then he'll go off and find his one, the one he feels like is worthy of being wifed or getting the ring. But most of you bitches though, you don't realize you are just worthy for like worthy like for like just to get fucked. And I hope you'll realize, yeah. Especially if you're in your 30s, like yeah, you can't even compete with these young chicks. In your 30s, like now in your 30s, like what you have to do is just look for the ones who you can settle with. It might be someone who you don't like, who you do not like, but you have to settle for that nigga. Just because the niggas you like don't fucking like you any like you in that way anymore. Like they won't wife you. They'll just fuck you. But anyway, yeah.
Resources, I had everything.
This nigga.
Now it's more of a detractor because in terms of like comes with headaches, it's distracting. I'm trying to like whatever. Definitely not into marriage or anything like that, but more of a long-term relationship. I'm open to it. So again, and I know this is the longest way to answer your question. It depends on what time, what place you are. If you meet right now, athlete who just got drafted maybe 2 years ago to the Miami Heat, trust me, I don't care what you think. That nigga is indulgent, and it just is what it is.
Smashing.
And a lot of times, this is where women also get fucked up. Go ahead now.
But what is he looking for in the woman that he might call his wife?
No.
Well, he might not be at that
Probably
point.
not ready
But
to
he's trying to
settle
find his
down. That's
wife.
what he's
His
trying to
age
tell
and where
you.
he's at, he's not ready for that.
Exactly.
So no matter how much you think he is, he's gonna play the field for the most part. So he's saying for a guy, what age he's at is gonna might determine what he wants.
I guarantee you, and I've said this many times, I've met many women who I felt were they qualified, it ticked all the boxes for a serious conversation of could you be with them long term or wifey potential or having kids or whatever. But I met them at a really immature age in terms of I'm like, yo, I got 50 chicks a day just sending me pussy pictures, just trying to get flown out. I'm sorry. You want over here, want to cuddle and have dinner. Nah, I ain't got time for that shit. I'm about to go fuck these hoes. So it depends on what stage you're at. So again, but here's the thing: a lot of women like you, and this is why the dynamic of when you're young, you date older. If you just want a dude to just wife you up, you're probably gonna you got to look for a dude in his 30s. If you look for a dude who's like, what you say, 23 or 20? What was it?
Yeah.
If you look for a dude who's like 24, come on.
Yeah. No.
Like again, now if he's a bum, of course he's gonna look at you like you're the pride, like you're like he's so happy to get you. A nigga who's lit out here in Miami, who's a basketball player, who's 24, 25, you are like, it's like another fucking flavor in the fucking candy store. I mean, you're bad as shit, but like, there's another girl bad as shit. There's mad girls bad as shit.
Of course.
You can get loads
So
of
depends on what you want. You might just want to be with that nigga. You might just want to be with that nigga in his wraith. You might just want to be in Tulum with him. But then you gotta accept the fact that he gonna keep doing his thing because he's 25.
I'm gonna give some advice here real fast because that was that. I now you see kind of where men operate from the mindset. So this is what I'll give the practical advice here, what y'all could do.
All right.
This is gonna sound terrible. I'm gonna say it. You got a guy.
Say it, man.
Whether
Say
he
it.
just got his money,
Say it. They need to hear it.
right? Whether he just got his money or he's in the middle of getting his money, whatever it may be, you get the guy, and it's just gonna burn the girls to hear this shit. You're gonna have to keep chasing him and giving him value, bro. You're gonna have to do a lot of the pursuing a lot of the time. You're gonna have to keep chasing him. You're gonna have to keep following up. You're gonna have to keep giving value. You're gonna have to see some of y'all already shaking your heads like, oh, I don't
In
want to
what
do that shit.
predicament? I didn't hear the first
I
part.
disagree.
Are y'all listening? I'm trying to
Yes,
give y'all the
I
game.
am.
What you said? You said I didn't hear the first part.
In what predicament will she have to keep chasing?
You're gonna have to keep chasing him until he's ready, but you got to make sure that he's worth the chase. Now, if you deal with a top percentage guy, a millionaire, successful, whatever it may be, it might take some time where you're gonna have to chase him. And here's the risk. Like I said before, the more successful the guy, the more women want him. The more
That's facts. The more successful the person, the more options he has. Like so, and it's like how can I say? It's fucked up how this shit works. It's so fucked up how this shit works. The more successful the guy, the more women want him. But yet at the same time, the more he wants to fuck so many females because he has options. But at the same time, the females who want him, like they're the baddest, but they want the relationship. But he's not into that because he's got so many options. So you see how it is. And then the normal guy, like let's say us normal guys, or yeah, I'll put there. us normal guys who would be great for a certain type of female, who would be great for these scallywags. They don't want to give us a time or day. So this is what happens. Like, so these scallywags will end up being single, getting fucked by the guys they think are worthy of them, but yet those guys don't want to make them wifeys. They just want to fuck. And then there are the guys like us who would want females, but these females don't want to give us no play because they'll be like, oh no, you're not worthy. You know? So it's like a never-ending circle. Circle. It's so fucked up how this shit works, man. But yeah, man. This is why I love listening to these type of shows. Yeah.
More, you're taking a risk on wasting your time. But ladies like the top guys. What most women want to do, that's in the top 1%. So if you want a man in the top 1%, you have to be prepared to compete. Now, I will say this. Being a nice guy as a guy will fuck you up. But being a nice guy as a woman will keep you from getting fucked up. But one more time for the ladies. Listen. Being a nice guy and chasing a woman will get you fucked up.
Pay attention. Listen to that. Listen to that.
Being a nice woman and chasing a man will keep you from getting fucked up. And what I mean by that is that if you chase and you continue to give value to that man, you will rise above all the other girls. I promise you, you will rise above all the other bimbos that think that they're entitled, being liabilities, take me on trips, blah, blah, blah. You keep offering him value and you keep chasing him, he will eventually succumb and say, fuck, this girl's been with me when I was fucking other chicks. She accepted it. She gave me value. God damn, all these other hoes are useless. Yep. You being there through all the trials and tribulations and all the other stupid ass bitches is going to show your value. That's how you keep them. Now, you're going to have to get some heartbreak. You're going to have to see him fuck other girls. You're going to go months maybe without talking to him, maybe weeks, whatever it may be. This is what comes with the territory when you deal with a high value man. But being a nice girl will reward you long term. But being a nice guy will always punish you long.
There you go. So being a nice girl will value for it will value for a girl. But if you are a nice guy towards these scallywags, these bitch, these women, it doesn't. It never works out. And so I want to say, guys, look at this. Look at it this way. Everyone always says like men and women can be friends. I don't believe that because we all want to fuck our friends. We all want to fuck our friends. It's like one of those things where we know this bitch doesn't want to fuck with us, but we're just hoping maybe one day she's gonna slip and just say, hey, come fuck this pussy or some shit like that. And once we fuck, it's done with. Like we don't give a fuck. But being a nice guy towards these females, like you have to be rough with these bitches. Sometimes you have to be rough with these bitches. Like I know that sounds so bad, but sometimes you have to, because look at Will Smith out here, man, slapping Chris Rock in the face on live television. What does Jada say? I didn't want him to do that shit, but yet she gave him the side eye. You know, it's all messed up. It's all messed up.
Now let me add this as well, just to be based on context.
And you know what? I don't want this to be too long, so I'm gonna stop here with this one. I'm gonna stop here. Listen, more than women. You need to wake the fuck up before you end up settling or being alone or being a baby mama. That's one of the you need to wise the fuck up, man. Wise the fuck up. You know what I mean? Anyway, like and subscribe. Joyman07. Peace and love.